This is another video to help you practice your parts at home for variations on a Korean folk song. This is specifically going to deal with variation 6. And in that, I'm looking at measures 169, 170, 171, and 172 in the flutes, clarinets, bassoons, and saxophones. So this little descending whole tone scale can be tricky if you don't know how to go about it. So this is what the lick looks like in the clarinet part. And I'm looking specifically at the second and third clarinet in measure 169. The first clarinets pick that up a little later in 169. Flutes had the same thing, but obviously it's written differently. So if we look at this is based on one scale, and it's a scale that we don't work on a whole lot. It's called the whole tone scale. This is an example of a whole tone scale for the flutes, clarinets, and alto saxophones. The tricky thing about the whole tone scale is your fingers and your eyes are doing two different things. If we look at the clarinet part here, the reason this is called a whole tone scale is because all of the scale degrees are one whole step apart. There are no half steps in this scale. So C to D is a whole step, D to E is a whole step, E to F sharp is a whole step, F sharp to A flat. Well, if I call A flat G sharp, I have F sharp to G sharp, which is a whole step. But I respell it A flat. A flat to B flat is a whole step, B flat to C is a whole step, and then if you look here, I just continue the same pattern that I had here. So this is really a 6-note scale. Where the tricky part is here, because our eyes see a leap, they see a skip, but our fingers are playing a step. So if we're not aware of that, it makes it a little trickier. So the first thing I would do in this is I would practice this scale a few times. Now obviously I would start a lot slower and build up my speed until I was comfortable. But what I'm trying to do is get the feel of that scale into my fingers so I don't have to think about the notes. All right, so let's go to the lick in the music now. So this is the clarinet part, specifically the second and third clarinets in 169. And what I've done, just like before in variation 2, is I've drawn lines through my beats. So when I have my metronome on, I can see where that all lines up. So the red lines are the beats, and just like before, I'm going to set my metronome on 80, and I'm going to play through it at least 10 times. It's going to sound like this. So I'll do that 10 times, and then just like last video, I'll bump up to 90, 100, 110, 20, 30, 40. The goal on this is 144. I'm going to push it to 152 because when we get in performance, I want it to feel very relaxed. I don't want to feel frantic. And I'll do that a couple times at 152. Once I got that about 10 times in a row with the metronome, I feel pretty good about it. I know that I have it. And then it just goes to cleaning it up and making sure my tone stays steady the whole time. But hopefully that gives you a little bit of help in practicing that kind of challenging lick.